Imagine with me, you find a corpse in front of you, not a single witness, and no murder weapon, not a drop of blood. Everything is unclear. You feel like it's a perfectly executed crime. But there's another world around us. Small, too weak for you to see it. This world can expose the killer and reveal everything. Microbes. Oh, really, the small things we never think about. It could be the key witness that breaks the silence of the crime. 800 years ago, in a simple village in China, someone was suddenly killed. Everyone gathered and the suspicion was growing on everyone. Who is the killer? No one knows. At that moment, a brilliant detective named Song Shi arrived. He told them, "Bring all the sickles you have." They threw them in front of him on the ground under the sun, and suddenly, sir, the flies started buzzing around one particular sickle. Do you know why? There were very small traces of blood that were not visible to the human eye, but the flies smelled it, and from here they identified the killer. This incident marked the beginning of a science called forensic entomology. Now, in our time, the situation has developed more and more. One of the most famous people working in this field is named Mark Benecke. A somewhat strange German man, his appearance is quite distinctive, always dressed in black and covered in tattoos, but a genius in every sense of the word. Mark Benecke studies the insects that gather on corpses, like flies, ants and beetles. And he can determine from the insect's life cycle how many days ago did this corpse die. Did it move, or is it in the same place? What was the weather like at the time of death? In 2017, a strange crime occurred. An elderly man living alone in Italy died suddenly. No one noticed, and when they found him, it was hard to tell when or how he died. Mark Benecke entered the house and studied the insects around the corpse, and through the growth of flies and ants he was able to determine that the man died from neglect more than a week ago, and there was no murder, just deadly negligence. But insects don't always work. If the weather is cold, or the place has no ventilation, or the body was moved, all of this can confuse the analysis. And from here, the scientists said, so why don't we try something more precise and stronger? Microbes, microbes. In America, a few years ago, they conducted a very dangerous experiment. They brought corpses and left them to decompose in different places, in the desert, in the jungle, in dry areas and humid areas. They left the bodies for 21 days. And they took samples of the bacteria and fungi that were working on each corpse. And guess what the surprise was? They found that about 20 types of microbes appear in almost the same order on all corpses, regardless of the place or climate. The strangest thing is, they found that each environment has a different microbial fingerprint. I mean, if a body was in the desert, the microbes on it differ from the body that was in the forest. Even if the body is moved, the microbes remain witnesses to the original location. Even if the body is moved, the microbes remain witnesses to the original place. Using artificial intelligence with microbes, the scientists took all this data and put it into artificial intelligence algorithms. They became able to determine the time of death with incredible accuracy. And sometimes they can determine the crime scene even if the body was moved 100 kilometers away. I mean, the killer who tries to hide the body or destroy the evidence, the microbes will expose him whether he likes it or not. Microbes will expose him whether he likes it or not. This field is still in its infancy, but for sure, Microbes will soon be the most important silent witness to a murder. And imagine with me, then the police might come, take a swab from the body, and without a word, they know everything. And the killer, no matter how much they hide and no matter how much the crime scene is wiped, microbes don't forgive and they don't forget. And as much as the world has developed, and as much as people thought they could hide their crimes away from human eyes, science was getting closer and closer. We have entered an era where microbes speak. Every corpse, every dead cell, every speck of dust around the victim contains secrets that not only tell how they died, but also reveal who was present and left their mark without realizing it. In the past, a killer could escape justice if there were no witnesses. Today, even if the whole world is silent, the corpse itself speaks. Microbes, the smallest creatures in the universe, have become the strongest witness that no one can silence. And in the end, no matter how clever the criminal is, science is always smarter. And if today we are still discovering the secrets of microbes, tomorrow maybe the air particles the killer breathed will expose him. In the world of crime, there is no perfect crime. Justice always finds a way, even if its path crosses through millions of beings that cannot be seen with the naked eye. The abstract,